Chairman Mica, you may begin, sir.
Well, thank you so much, and I do want to really say how much I appreciate Chairman Fleming and the ranking member, also Mr. Hastings, the chair of the full committee, for granting a request to hold this hearing. I've been asking that we pay more attention to this issue since March 2009, when the South Atlantic Fishery Management Council voted by a very slim margin, 7-6 vote, to impose a ban on red snapper fishing all the way from Florida up to the Carolinas. Let me say that even when Mr. Henry Brown was the ranking member, he sent a letter asking for a hearing. We sent a joint letter, just about everybody in the Florida delegation and others signed it, November of 2009. Nothing was done. So I can't tell you how pleased that we are that this committee under new leadership has responded. Now, from the very beginning, well, first of all, I don't know much about the fishing industry, even though I represent Florida. I should say I didn't know much, but I certainly learned in a hurry the incredible impact fishing, both commercial fishing and sports fishing, has in my state and my district. We heard from the very beginning, and we have reports back to 2009. I've got commercial and charter fishermen that told us that we would impact not only business. This is an article which we'll put in the record if it's appropriate. St. Augustine, which is a major fishing point and center for our state, to put out of business and take a toll. This is the projection on restaurants, hotels, and others in town. I have a recent assessment from Jody Lynn of St. Augustine, who has a charter fishing business, and she said just recently, since the ban went into effect, our charter business has dropped from 200-plus trips a year to just 104 trips. This is a $5 billion industry, so we put people out of business as predicted, and we've also just made employment so difficult in a very tough economic time to begin with. So huge economic damage. Now, let me just say, if a ban would preserve an endangered species, red snapper or others, I would support it. I introduced legislation that was ignored, again, by the committee. No hearing, nothing. I introduced H.R. 3307. And all I said is, let's confirm the data. Now, I'm not a big fisherman, and I'm not a marine biologist or scientist. So I looked at what others said, and back in 2009, Professor of Marine Biology in Florida, Dr. Raymond Walder, said, having examined the federal government's assessment and proposals regarding Atlantic red snapper, we conclude that the data used are of questionable reliability, which makes the resulting analysis and conclusions questionable as well. So, again, you've seen the incredible economic negative impact that was predicted. It took place. You've seen that they passed this without, again, having accurate data. It's passed on a 7-6 vote. One thing I learned interesting from the fishermen, too, is 30 to 40% of the fish that we're still catching red snapper, 40% of them die when they throw them back in. You know, these fish don't come up and look to see what Congress has done lately as far as a ban. They're taking the bait, and we're killing them. The anecdotal reports I get from fishermen, you'll hear from Captain Dave Nelson. We also have Sid Prescott, who represents some of the industry here. They can tell you about the runs and what they see. So based on science, the step, I think, was flawed. The action was premature. We never had the opportunity of this hearing before Congress or I think in the proper forums to consider this. So again, I'm dismayed. I I think that this committee needs to go back and look at the Magnuson Act, the overall act, and also the actions of the that have resulted, that have done inestimable damage to my district, the state of Florida, and the nation's economy. I apologize, I have 10 seconds left. I'm going to have to speak and run because I have a bill on the floor right at this time. Thank you for your consideration. I'll leave 2 seconds to yield back.